Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our NMIS Insights webinar, Enhance Your Manufacturing Capabilities. Could you please bear with us just for a few moments while attendees connect? Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks again for waiting. Okay, we'll just start the session now, and I'll hand you over to my colleague Stuart McKinley. Thank you.
Good morning, all. The last time I was in front of so many people on the camera was as a fresh-faced youth starring in Gregory's Girl. But the objective today here is to show the free support that is coming your way through the Advancing Manufacturing Challenge Fund and demonstrate how NMIS is working with partners across Scotland to meet both local and national needs. So we're going to hear from each of the speakers outlined below. David Campbell, West Highland College UHI, Ian Gibson from SEED, John Munro and Paul Murray from Dumfries and Galloway Council, Jose Hernandez from NMIS Manufacturing Skills Academy, and I'm Stuart McKinley from NMIS Manufacturing Skills Academy. So in terms of housekeeping, just to make you aware, this webinar is being recorded and will be made available live. Your microphones and webcams will be turned off, and we'd encourage you to type your questions through the session in the chat tool. At the end of the session, after everyone has spoken, we will have a Q&A session. We've planned in time for that, and we would encourage you to complete our survey at the end so we can continue to improve and give you better provision going forward. So what is NMIS? NMIS is the National Manufacturing Institute Scotland, and it's a group of industry-led manufacturing research and development facilities where research, industry and the public sector all work together to transform skills, productivity and innovation to attract investment and make Scotland a global leader in advanced manufacturing. So NMIS will increase productivity by reducing barriers to innovation, stimulate investment and increase manufacturing competitiveness, catalyse job creation and strengthen supply chain links. And I think you'll see some of that taking place today. We'll inspire and attract talent and equip the current and future workforces with the skills they and businesses need. And we will work with manufacturing businesses of all sizes. We are sector agnostic, and we are very keen to work with SMEs in particular. NMIS is part of the One Scotland team, supported by Scottish Government, Highlands and Highlands Enterprise, Scottish Enterprise, Skills Development Scotland, Catapult, Renfrewshire Council and Scottish Funding Council, and it's operated by the University of Strathclyde. In terms of what does NMIS look like, it's a combination of core capability, and you can see in the illustration there, the core elements are the digital factory, the collaboration hub, which are coming, and the building is started and it will be on its way. And a key component is the Manufacturing Skills Academy. And the Manufacturing Skills Academy will build on, complement and augment existing provision that already exists across Scotland. And we will cover the full range from the FA Foundation Apprenticeship Pilot in digital manufacturing through the family of apprenticeships, upwards and onwards through the CPD spectrum, and Jose will touch on that later on, and onto the industrial doctorates. Some of you may have worked with the AFRC in the past, the Advanced Forming Research Centre, and that's a specialist centre within the NMIS group. as is the Lightweight Manufacturing Centre. So without further ado, I will now hand you on to the first guest, who is Ian from SEED. And just to reiterate, we will have time for questions and answers at the end.
Thanks, Stuart. Good morning, everybody. Hope we're all well today. I personally was hoping to get off that naughty step level 4 and be going to pubs, but unfortunately that's not to be. So take solace in today's event. So as Stuart said, my name's Ian Gibson and I'm the Advancing Manufacturer Cluster Builder Programme Lead. Try saying that way a beer in you, thank goodness I don't have to go to a pub. So let's just call it the MCB for short. What I'm going to do today is take this opportunity just to give you an overview of the AMCB programme, but also I'd like to just kind of give you an insight into the 12 projects. Now clearly I won't do all the 12 because you'll actually hear from 3 in depth today, but I'll give you a flavour of what some of the other 9 are actually about. So we start right at the top there. The cluster building programme has 12 projects that all have the overall aim to have a significant impact on advancing the manufacturing capabilities of SMEs in Scotland. And the projects will look to stimulate demand through networking connection process, including information and sharing events like this one today, but also more importantly, I guess, the one-to-one engagement. The 12 projects cover a range of sectors and applications, and I'll just kind of, as I said, go through them sort of briefly at the moment. So if we look at the top at the 12 o'clock position, we had additive manufacturing, or AMBATS for short. AMBATS is actually run through ENMIS, so a nice follow-on from Stuart. And the AMBATS project will provide SMEs with access to the expertise required to make investment in additive manufacturing, AM, de-risking innovation and supporting the adoption of additive manufacturing across the businesses. The next couple, the Advancing Innovative Manufacturing South of Scotland, John will cover later, and in the West Highlands, David will also cover pretty soon as well. So that takes me to the Aerospace Digital Visualisation Suite, and that's run by South Ayrshire Council. The project is using cutting-edge virtual reality technology, and I'm learning this every day, so they're calling it XR technology, which includes augmented reality and digital visualization. And basically, they're going to support SMEs to test and prove concepts and redesign production systems, and you can even use it as training aids to help support your workforce development. The next one is a sister project run again by South Ayrshire Council, but it's about aerospace supply chain. And this project is to help SMEs to overcome the barriers to entry into the aerospace industry. So maybe something you haven't thought about before, or maybe you've looked at, and these guys are there to support you to look at access to that. Next in line is the critical engineer. That's run by the West of Scotland College, or West College Scotland. The project will provide regional skills hub for SMEs across all sectors, and will have access to knowledge, skills, training and equipment in relation to manufacturing 4.0 technology. Next is the Eden Campus Energy Demonstrator. The Eden Campus is run by St Andrews University, and the project is for SMEs working energy storage and conversion, providing upscale facilities for R&D to early prototyping and proving technology before moving to large-scale manufacture. Next, we have the Make It Hearts Hub, which is run by Construction Scotland Innovation Centre. And the project aims to deliver transformational improvements in the Highlands and Islands economy through working with SMEs in construction, manufacturing, and the built environment. And then we have the Medical Device Manufacturing Centre, which really does what it says in the tin. That's run by Heriot-Watt University. and the projects for SMEs who specialise in the manufacture of medical devices. There will be support to accelerate the development and innovation concepts through manufactured products by accessing advice and the opportunity to develop and test approaches actually in the centre. And that will help SMEs de-risk future investment. Then we have the North Lanarkshire Manufacturing Innovation Hub that's run by the North Lanarkshire Council. And that's really to help provide practical industry-based specific support to help manufacturing SMEs grow. It'll have a main focus on robotics and automation. We then have the CPD programme, which Jose will talk about later on as well, so I don't need to cover that. And last but not least, we have the SCOUT, the Scottish Outreach project, and that's run by the Centre for Process Innovation, CPI. The project is for SMEs working in the high value chemical and biochemical supply chain and will help SMEs find solutions to growth challenges, providing a clear plan, new networks and knowledge. And ultimately, all the projects really have the goal of delivering this change, but actually having it as long-term transformational change. So just moving on then briefly to SEED. SEED are a not-for-profit mutual membership organisation. Essentially what we do at SEED is support our members through community of practice, which can be peer-to-peer sharing, building clusters, and bringing in support from academia and other bodies such as NMIS to create measurable improvements for our members. I suppose if I was to put it really simply, our day job is cluster building. So I think that's really why we're doing this role within the cluster building. And over a challenging year for everybody, SEED also has been running our own events. And I think since the beginning of the year, we've run something like 150 workshops to over 3,000 participants. And you can see just on the right, a kind of small selection of some of our members in the organisation. So talking about SEED's role in the cluster builder within this infographic, we're really here to bring the whole process together. And ultimately, we're all here to support the SME. SEED look to do this through our 4 core steps. The first one being events. So if you think an event like this, SEED are there to help the projects in the planning, promotion, helping present as I'm doing at events today, and also will help promote the events through our own SEED events. So those 150, we could use a pop-up at them to actually talk about any events coming up. Support talks to the fact that we look at all the projects as a member. So we give them the same support we give members. So that's peer-to-peer sharing, supply chain partnerships, and building clusters. Signposting really talks to the right-hand side of our infographic, and that's about SEED will support in signposting and looking for support for either business to business, academia, sector initiatives, or any of the other bodies, for example, NMIS, Scottish Enterprise, High, SOSI, Zero Waste Scotland, Skills Development Scotland, whichever we think fits for the requirement. And lastly, education. So that's us looking to provide a learning platforms through member sharing events, peer-to-peer discussions, and really what we like to call our crowd learning sessions where we learn from each other. So I hope that's given you a kind of overview of the programme and an insight into the projects. But if you'd like to find out a little bit more, either on the projects or the programme itself, please visit the SEED Scotland website, and you'll see a landing page there for the cluster builder. And then that has a link to all the 12 individual projects. Or you can email myself direct and we can pick it up from there. And finally, from all us at SEED, our Christmas card complete with our robotic reindeer, our hydrogen-powered sleigh, and our 3D printed Santa. And so just from us, it's a season greetings from everybody at SEED. I'd like to now hand over to John Munro from the AIMS project.
Thanks, Ian. Let me just share the screen. Hopefully that's coming through. No. Right. So, as I say, I hope you're now seeing the screen.
That's it, John. That looks
Right.
fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I'm John Munro, recently appointed project manager for the AIMS project, advancing innovative manufacturing in the south of Scotland. My colleague Paul Murray is joining us today as well. He's one of our business facilities coordinators, and he's here to answer the more difficult questions later. So we're a new project. We've seen a significant delay due to COVID-19, but we're now nearly fully staffed and in the setup stage. So, as you heard, the project has been established with funding from the MCF and the South of Scotland Enterprise. So the overall aim of the Advanced Manufacturing Challenge Fund is for projects to have a scale and level of ambition required to have a significant impact on developing the manufacturing capabilities of small and medium-sized enterprises. And that should lead to a long-term transformational change. This feeds into the AIMS project, which is going to focus on the SME manufacturing communities in the Scottish borders and Dumfries and Galloway region. It's proposed that it will provide an integrated service with existing agencies, both the South of Scotland Enterprise and a number of other agencies, including ENMIS. The project will provide a dedicated team that will have new equipment, new facilities. Our ambition is to support SMEs in sustaining, developing and growing through the introduction of innovation, technology and processes. The AIMS project team has the support of a number of bid partners and key stakeholders. The lead partner is Dumfries and Galloway Council. The governance of the project is through the project board and the council's existing organisation. We also have the other council, Borders Council, Scottish Borders Council, two colleges, Borders and Dumfries and Galloway, again South of Scotland Enterprise, and two industrial bodies, Scottish Borders Engineering Trading Association and the Galloway Engineering Forum. So all of these will be part of the governance of the project, but also be part of our delivery. They'll be providing a diverse range of skills and capabilities to support that core team. So our core team is quite small, but with a wealth of experience. I'm not sure if that's my boss's way of saying we're all getting a bit old, but we are all from manufacturing and business development experience. The core team's going to provide that interface between businesses and the AIMS projects, resources and facilities. So that team will endeavour to build integrated solutions to business inquiries, from simple demonstrations of equipment to an integrated development project, which may require prototyping, upskilling, demonstration of production equipment, leading to selection for a business. We'll utilise the skills and resources from across our partners and stakeholder organisations and provide the local contact for ENMIS and other national resources. So, our current status. We're still developing our long-term plans. We're nearly at the point of buying our first tranche of major equipment. We're also finalising our facilities options with initial locations in Dumfries and Galashiels. The facilities will be suitable for demonstration of technologies and processes, as well as specific project work, allowing development of confidential prototyping and process development. We're maturing our first tranche of the equipment. This is a list of the list is nearly complete. First item should be out for procurement before Christmas. We're developing the next level of equipment, possibly procuring mobile demonstration and project equipment to expand our reach across quite a wide region. We're already getting our operating procedures in place. We're hoping to see SME inquiries coming in. We're building a network of project supporters and potential clients. We're trying to position our facilities and equipment to best serve the local businesses. So at Dumfries and Galloway, we're focusing machining and metrology. And for Borders, we're looking at robotics, welding and fabrication. But both areas will have a common standard for 3D printing, scanning, CAD/CAM capabilities. So in more detail, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be putting into the Dumfries and Galloway facility. And this is the proposed list of stuff we're putting in to the Borders area. Trying to utilise our budget to provide complementary technologies on the sites. Again, with common software, common design tools, and links to the VR suite and the VR AR technology. I haven't quite caught up with XR just yet. So, we've already this year talked to a number of SMEs who have completed a survey for us. This identified some of the issues that we're facing and also identified the types of equipment that should support their business ambitions. This informed the basic list of equipment that we're now procuring, and also in which in turn that defined what facilities we need to house those equipment requirements. We've identified outline operating processes to the team, building our contacts across the network of potential support organisations. But we are keen to get started. So in January, we'll open the virtual door for SMEs to get in touch and start our operational response. So if you're an SME in the Scottish Borders and Dumfries and Galloway who wish to benefit from this project, or any of the agencies that want to get involved in our aims and help us undertake this task, then please get in touch. You can contact us through our email and one of the coordinators will get back to you. Or if you want to discuss the project more, then please get in contact with myself. So that was a quick run through of the AIMS project for the Borders and Dumfries and Galloway. So thanks for listening to me. And I hope to hear from you in the future. I suppose through the questions and answers will be the first opportunity. So now I'll hand over to David Campbell from West Highland College for the next presentation. David. I think you're on mute, David.
Yeah, seamless transition here. Hold on 2 seconds.
You're now live.
Great, happy days. I'll just share my screen. It's going straight to the end, so we'll just go all the way back up. Here we go. Very good. Okay. Thank you very much, John. Hi everyone, my name's David Campbell, and I'm going to give you a quick overview today of the exciting project that we've got at West Highland College and let you see what we're bringing to the table. It is very similar to the fantastic offering in Dumfries and Galloway, and for me it's already apparent that we'll be able to collaborate to help deliver some game-changing solutions across the country. And thanks also to Ian for the overview of all the AMCF projects. I absolutely agree as well that we'll be able to work together for the benefit of the Scottish economy. So that's really exciting. And what I'd like to do today is give you an overview of who we are, what the project is, what we're aiming to do, and how we'll work with businesses. So, who are we? West Highland College, UHI, is a partner of the College of the University of Highlands and Islands, and we've got 10 centres across Loch Arbor, Skye and Wester Ross. We're offering opportunities and choice to our learners whilst we recognise the rural issues and we're ensuring the quality of access through supportive and inspirational learning experiences. We're actively contributing to the transformation of the West Highlands and beyond, and it fits perfectly with this project where we'll work closely with local businesses to advance their manufacturing capabilities. And so, you can see from this map that we've got quite a spread across the West Coast. As part of the University of Highlands and Islands, we've also got our partner colleges across the entire Highlands region, and we've got access to a wider pool of academics and research capability. So there's a screaming need in the West Highlands for practical training facilities for most of STEM-related subjects and vocations, with local apprentices having to travel at least a 4-hour round trip to Inverness for basic training. So the college is just waiting on budgetary approval from the Scottish Government for our shovel-ready STEM Centre project, which will catapult the area onto a more level playing field with other regions of Scotland. But this hasn't stopped us making progress, though, and with our Advanced Manufacturing Challenge Fund being successful, we can support our local businesses now. So the project will target support for SMEs and micro businesses involved in manufacturing across the different industry sectors in our local area. And that's including food and drink, construction, aquaculture, metals and timber products. So this multi-sector approach will give local businesses access to new advanced manufacturing equipment and specialist expertise to help inform their adoption of new technology, processes and products that we hope will encourage innovation and improve productivity. So the Advancing Manufacturing West Highlands project is a £1.6 million project, and it's designed to provide local businesses with access to advanced manufacturing technology and expertise. Part of the National Advancing Manufacturing Challenge Fund, the project's a partnership between the Scottish Government, Scottish Enterprise and the Highlands and Islands Enterprise, and it's part funded by the 2014-2020 European Structural Investment Fund. So we're looking to have this up and running and ready to support businesses at the beginning of 2021. And in the absence of the STEM Centre, we've identified and leased a suitable building near the campus in Fort William. And whilst the equipment that we purchased with the funding can't be used for curriculum activities, it's a fantastic inroad in developing relationships with SMEs and a large footstep in the journey of establishing STEM credibility for our college. We're currently fitting out the centre in Fort William, and we're working with our procurement team, just like Dumfries and Galloway, to purchase the equipment to kit it out. It's all very well having high-tech equipment, but if you don't know how to use it and get the best out of it, then it'll just sit and gather dust. So we'll have a dedicated technician that can work with businesses to help them learn and discover the capabilities of the equipment. I mentioned earlier about a sandpit environment. We're excited about the prospect of people being able to play around on the kit, to become comfortable in its use and not be scared of the technology. So we'll run workshops with businesses to identify common challenges, and we'll encourage collaboration to overcome these. And this could be as simple as collaborating on logistics. Just typically in the Highlands, we'll pay a lot more for even just for delivery of goods than you do in the Central Belt. So just to get a collaboration on that, it's going to be a win for people as well. So along with access to the kit and the technical support, we've employed a dedicated project engineer to support businesses that want to get involved. The engineer will come to you and work with you to gain an insight into your business and how we can support you. We recognise that every business will be at a different place in their evolution, and it's important that we recognise this, and it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. We'll tailor each solution to the needs of each business. There's so many support organisations out there that it can be difficult for businesses to know where to turn to, and we aim to help that by brokering and fostering relationships where it would be relevant, and help with funding applications for research and capital spending. We also recognise that local competing businesses might not want to collaborate with each other on certain things, and we can connect them with those further afield. Businesses in Dumfries and Galloway are in similar sectors to us, and we see a big potential for collaboration with them. And you'll see from John's presentation that the projects are fairly similar. So we'll have an area that will introduce Industry 4.0 to you. And for those that are unsure, this chart shows the various stages of the Industrial Revolution. First came mechanisation and steam power, and then mass production and assembly lines, followed by automation, computers and electronics. 4.0 now sees the introduction of cyber physical systems, Internet of Things and networks. The easiest way to think of the latter one is through the concept of a smart home, where lights, heating, cameras and home appliances can be controlled by smartphones or speakers. Some of the businesses in the area will be operating at Industry 1.0 and have no need to move stages, and others will need to move along in order just to keep up with competing forces in the markets that they operate in. We aim to help you improve your business, whether it's small gains through process improvement in the area that you're in, or assisting you move from one to the next. We'll have some collaborative businesses and some that will want bespoke, tailored projects. Our dedicated project manager will work with you to understand your needs and help you achieve your goal. I'm going to try something a bit technical now. I'm going to ask each one of you to open up the chat box and type in what number you feel your business is at. And this will give us an indication of the spread of where you're all at. So are you at 1, 2, 3, or 4? If you could just open up the chat box and put that in. Okay, so thanks for that. We've got a fair spread, and with the range of kit that we've got, we'll be able to help everyone no matter where you are in your journey. And you'll see from that list that, again, it's similar to what Dumfries and Galloway are looking at. The Advancing Manufacturing Centre for the West Highlands will be an exciting, creative and innovative space. All we need is local businesses to come along and get their creative juices flowing and start thinking about the art of the possible. Some of the equipment is portable, and we'll be able to take it to any one of our 10 centres across the West Highlands for you to get your hands on it without the need to travel to Fort William. Our technician will be on hand to show you how to use the equipment, and we'll tap into online resources from NMIS that Jose will be showing you later on to help increase your knowledge. For those that have not yet moved into automation, we'll have a suite dedicated to process automation. This will have systems where you can learn about the basics before moving on to more complex robotic systems, where you'll be able to program a robot to assemble a component. We'll have some renewable energy systems in there as well to help businesses that might be thinking about what next, but are frightened of the technology. We're keen to find out what businesses need so we can support you to at least keep up to date or to take a step forward in the new technologies. And we'll work with you to ensure that we can help either through our project, through one of the other advancing manufacturing projects that Ian was describing earlier, or the multitude of other support organisations that are out there. It's an exciting time for us as we get going with the project, and next week marks a major milestone for us with our engineer Margaret Weir joining us. During our interview, we were extremely impressed with what Margaret has to offer, and there's no doubt in my mind that she's going to be a great asset to both the project and the businesses locally. Margaret fully appreciates that Industry 4.0 is not for everyone, and if you're a one-person operation in a croft and Skye, spending vast sums of money on high-tech equipment is an unlikely solution for you. But maybe spending a few £100 installing a basic monitoring and control system with a camera linked to your mobile would allow you some more leisure time or time with your family and friends. This doesn't need to be about spending lots of money, it's more about doing things smarter. Whilst we're waiting our equipment to arrive, Margaret's available to come and work with you in your business, and I would ask that anyone that would like to have an initial chat with her just to get in touch. She's up for the challenge of helping you with everything from reviewing processes to bringing new products to market. So as I said at the start, we need to ask ourselves that what if question. We need to be agile and ready to adapt to the changing markets. How many of us can remember putting a film in a camera, winding it on and waiting for the pictures to come back from the chemist? Where are Kodak now? Some kids these days won't even have seen a digital camera, never mind a CD or a record. Some people feel that robots or collaborative robots are for the car industry or mass production lines. But what if a micro business working out of a barn in a croft making something wanted to expand but lived so remotely that they couldn't get any more staff? Could a cobot help them? What if one of your product lines becomes obsolete and you need to find a new one? What if you're a startup looking for a niche product? The West Highlands is so rich in opportunities from our natural assets of the mountains, the glens, our shores and the sea. From manufacturing shinty sticks, mountain bikes, climbing equipment to pioneering new technology in aquaculture. Who in this call will create the next big thing? My money's on someone that can make waterproofs that are actually waterproof or midge repellent that actually does what it says in the tin. But none of us know what we don't know, and my question to you all is, are you up for finding out? So if you are, then we're here to help and support you in your journey. There's quite a mountain of support out there for businesses, I've said before, and finding your way through that can prove quite tricky. So our project manager will work closely with you to ensure that your time is best spent doing what you do well, whilst they clear away the fog. We can help access funds and work with other projects in the Advancing Manufacturing cluster to help you get the right support. Examples of this would be the Construction Innovation Centre and the National Manufacturing Institute of Scotland. We were planning on holding workshops and leadership events to engage with businesses, but during the current climate, we've put that on hold. But we do look to do these virtually, and where it's safe to do so, our preferred method of engagement will be to work with you on a one-to-one basis and come into the Advanced Manufacturing Centre to get your hands on the kit. So I think that that's pretty much everything that I'd want to say, and really just thank you very much for your time. And if you want to talk to any of our team directly about the manufacturing project or general business support, then just please use these contact details that are on the screen at the moment. And thank you very much for your time. I'll now just pass you over to Jose Hernandez from NMIS to talk you through his exciting project.
Thanks, David.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jose Hernandez, and I am the CPD manager for NMIS, and I am also the project lead for this AMCF project. The title of our project is Online Delivery of Digital Manufacturing and Leadership Training. The aim of our project is to develop and deliver online training support on digital manufacturing and leadership. This project is delivered by the University of Strathclyde through the Manufacturing Skills Academy at the National Manufacturing Institute of Scotland. Our project has a pan-Scotland scope, and our intention is to support the upskilling effort of Scottish manufacturing companies across all sectors. Our project will deliver a portfolio of digital content libraries and cross-sectoral case studies, and these are designed to showcase and raise awareness of the benefits that digital manufacturing technologies can bring to manufacturing organizations. We will also help organizations to adopt a more holistic and structured approach to the digital transformation process. In terms of why we're doing this project, prior to the COVID-19 global pandemic, one of the biggest challenges facing the UK economy was the productivity problem, very sluggish growth in productivity. For manufacturing companies, this productivity problem is compounded by the recognized shortage of skills that is prominent in some key sectors. There is now a growing body of research that confirms the role that the skilled labor has to play in closing the productivity gap, and this has been the driver for this particular AMCF project. From a technology perspective, digital disruption will continue to grow exponentially, and this will create challenges, but also opportunities for many organizations. The speed of change has been accelerated, and the COVID pandemic has demonstrated how this can happen very, very quickly. And this is an interesting phenomenon. Things that were happening over the span of years are now happening over the span of months. And an example of this is the recent experiment that we have all been subjected to as part of this working from home. And all of this speed of change is facilitated by the technology that we are seeing coming through. There's an opportunity for manufacturing companies to take advantage of this technology, and this will allow you to empower your workforce and address those productivity challenges for your own organization. Business leaders have to be bold and embrace some of these new technologies and new digital ways of working, but we are here to provide support through this process. In terms of the services that we'll be providing for industry, we will be creating a suite of digital assets. Particularly, we're looking at developing 10 digital content libraries, each focusing on an individual area. On the figure on the right, you'll be able to see some of the areas that we're going to be putting effort into developing to these content libraries. And examples of areas that we're already starting to look at include additive manufacturing, extended reality, looking at augmented and virtual reality, and product realization, looking at the link with innovation. We will also be delivering 20 cross-sectoral case studies that will showcase the benefits that some companies have gained by implementing some of these technologies. In addition to our digital assets, we'll be working collaboratively with 70 manufacturing SMEs through this project to develop tailor-made workforce training plans. As part of this particular support, we have built a digital transformation skills assessment, which we're using to get a better understanding of the challenges, the needs, the strategy and the vision of organizations, to allow us to make some recommendations in terms of where to start. We'll talk a little bit more about this one support in a minute. Our assets will be available anytime, anywhere. Flexibility is really what we're going here for, and individuals, the learners and companies that are interested in accessing our materials will be able to do this remotely from wherever they're based. The learning experience is critical to the success of our project, and we have placed the learner at the center of our product development efforts. So the materials will be designed for effective online delivery. One of the key advantages of our project is that the materials that we developed as part of this AMCF project will be available free of charge to manufacturing SMEs. In terms of the levels that we're going to be delivering these materials, the AMCF project will concentrate on delivering materials in these 10 areas that I mentioned at introductory and intermediate levels. And the main reason for this is this will allow us to achieve our cross-sectoral objective from a project perspective. However, our long-term ambition is to continue to grow developing services and products, and eventually we will have support across the entire spectrum, all the way from introductory to the expert levels. From a one-to-one support perspective, this is the process that companies will go through. So the start of the process is an informal interview that our business development team will conduct with business leaders. And again, the purpose of this is just to get a good understanding of the opportunities, the challenges, and the vision of organizations. We will take that information, and that information will be fed back to the company as part of a skills report that we will produce. We can imagine that this process will be iterative in nature, but we are working to make this as effortless as possible for manufacturing companies. That skills report will be a one-page document that will contain a reflection of our conversations and recommendations in terms of where to go next. Once the support is confirmed, and the company has agreed of the next stages, that will unlock the e-learning materials that we have. But more than that, that material will be shaped into a dedicated, bespoke learning journey that will be available to that particular organization. So each organization will have their unique program for their workforce. As we have seen in all the other presentations, we are very collaborative, and we're very happy to work with other AMCF projects. And one of the key roles of our project is as well to provide signposting opportunities. So as part of that recommendation, we'll be connecting the companies that come to see us to the right support mechanisms. We have access to a very big university environment. We have access to the colleges. We have access to Scottish Enterprise and other support organizations like SMAS and Skills Development Scotland. Where we are with the project is to show you our plans. Well, the project started in April, and like everybody else, as a result of the pandemic, we suffered from some delays. The initial effort was concentrating on structural issues, as getting our team in place, getting the processes in place. But we have already started to engage with academic experts to help us shape our content libraries. We have resource within the AMCF team to develop content, but we are planning to work collaboratively with industry and academic experts to help us shape the content areas and the content libraries that we're planning to develop. Content library development, we anticipate we're set up now, and so this creation will start from next year. And we anticipate that the first 3 to 4 content libraries will be available towards the end of April. And that will begin our content library dissemination process. However, we mentioned the one-to-one support that we are offering to organizations, and that will start next year in January. So if you are looking for some support in this area, please get in touch, and we'll be happy to have a conversation with you in here. Our project will provide free online and flexible access to digital manufacturing and leadership training across multiple sectors. Our ambition is to provide SMEs with the necessary knowledge to help make more informed and strategic decisions on how to embark the digital transformation journey. We would like to see companies invest and use more technologies and adopt new ways of working. And we think that skills will provide companies with the skilling, so we will be able to provide more confidence to invest in the right technologies. And this in turn should lead to more innovation, the new way of working, new technologies will open hopefully new opportunities to new ideas for commercialization. COVID-19 has given organizations an opportunity to reimagine the workforce, and we would like to support SMEs through this process. In terms of our ask, well, quite simply, please get in touch. If you're interested in our digital assets and want to find out more about our plans, we'll be happy to share this information. It's worth mentioning that we are using a voice of the customer approach. We have already identified plans for the first three areas that we're going to develop, but we'll be happy to have conversations with industry to help us shape and prioritize our future development efforts. So working together, we can make this more beneficial and more impactful for the organizations that we will work with. Our one-to-one support, as we mentioned, this support will be open for business from January 21. We are already piloting our evaluation, our digital transformation diagnostic evaluation tool with some companies, and we're looking for more companies, early adopters that are interested in testing this and benefiting from early access to our team and our courses. We're also looking for case study participants to share their experiences. If you're an organization that is proud of all the achievements that you have made through the implementation of new technologies, please get in touch. We would like to hear from you. And although this activity will probably not start until later in the next year, we're very keen to start building our plans and that database of companies that we can tap and access in the new year. This is the AMCF team. So we are a group of 6 and we're all here to help. Our ask is, if you want for us to be able to better address your inquiry, if you get in touch with us through our general inquiries email, we'll be able to better direct your question. So that is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing from some of you. And I will pass on now to my colleague Stuart that will chair the Q&A session and we'll close the session.
Thank you, Jose. If I skip through those, I think that there have been a few questions in the Q&A and some chat. And we'd certainly be welcome to take any more questions. But usually the best line of approach is to, for NMIS itself, is to go through the NMIS inquiries email address on the screen just now. Clearly, if it's a local delivery, then go through your local provider first, whether that's West Highlands College, UHI, or Dumfries and Galloway Council, or indeed SEED. And we're happy to work with everyone and happy to answer any further questions.
I think and some of the stuff that's come through, Stuart, I just want to highlight the fact that the services we're providing are free for people to use. Certainly at West Highland College, the whole concept of the Advancing Manufacturing Challenge Fund is to provide that support to businesses. So I just saw some things coming through about the costs of that. So that would be provided to people free. Yeah, thanks, David. And that is as David highlighted there, that is the drive of the AMCF project. So across Scotland, these services are all free. No further questions at this moment. Then I just thank all the presenters and thank you all for attending. And I'll hand back to Debbie at this moment.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Thanks everyone again for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed today's webinar. Thanks again to our speakers, David, Ian, John, Jose and Stuart. Shortly after this session, you will receive a survey and we'd be very grateful if you could take a few moments to complete this. It does help us shape future webinars. This is the last of our NMIS Insights for 2020, but we'll be back early next year with some more informative webinars for you. You'll find details of these on our website at nmis.scot early next year. So I'm just going to bring the webinar to a close now. Thanks once again for joining us.